What in God's name is going on, Trevor?
You know, you wake up in the morning, you eat your
Feeling like P.
breakfast, and
Diddy. Like, no, I guess I'll tell you what. We ain't feeling like P.
and
Diddy
then
today. We're feeling like Stephanie McMahon because Stephanie McMahon
no,
just resigned from WWE. I'm a
has
little too low here.
quit.
Anyway, Trevor, breaking news. You and I were supposed to be doing. I'm Umar. He's Trevor. Forget the intro. Stephanie McMahon just resigned from WWE. Big time news here. For the second time in one calendar year, by the way, Stephanie McMahon steps aside from WWE. I don't even know
Yes,
how. I don't even know how to. Let's go right into it. Stephanie McMahon on her Twitter page and on her social media announced to the WWE universe that she will be stepping away from her role as CEO, nay, resigning from her role as CEO of the company. Here is the statement. I'm going to pull it up so everyone else can see as well. Here is the official statement from Stephanie McMahon. About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have ever known, my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Um, I will continue to read the rest of it because it does mention Vince McMahon. But all right, Trevor, we'll digest the rest of this in a second. But Stephanie McMahon steps down. You and I have not had time to process this. I was in a meeting before this. We were planning on doing a regular show. We're just doing our goofy stuff. By the way, guys, if you're joining
yeah.
us, welcome. Hit that like button, subscribe, and all that jazz. But Stephanie McMahon resigns from WWE. Reaction from you?
I was, I was, I was, I just went to the grocery store. I made pizza. I, I get that, and I was just talking with a friend of mine. I was like, "Watch Omer. Let me know late what we're gonna do, right?" And
Well,
I
that's my mo. That's what I do.
yeah, and I get to think, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, that, and third. Okay,
It was
cool.
supposed to be, guys. The original plan for this show was Dynamite
Icebreaker.
preview and Vince McMahon is back, right? Oh no,
Yeah,
no. Now it's just this. Continue. I
that was this.
apologize.
That's the, like it seems like you can't do anything nowadays when involving wrestling, and it has nothing to do with Vince McMahon. Dude, Vince McMahon and WWE is on everything. Like I freaked out the other day when I saw that Saudi was talking about trying to buy WWE.
Saudi Mania.
I was like, hey. I was like, what in the world?
Brother. Oh, continue.
But oh my god, dude, this okay. You go from 2021 being some of the biggest news, then 2023 starting off the year with big news. So who's going to run the company now? Vince McMahon?
Speaking of Vince McMahon, I'm going to continue reading from the second paragraph of this statement from Stephanie McMahon. She says, and I quote, "Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives, aka the sale. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as I love how they just like Paul Triple H. This is an official thing. Not even Paul Levesque. Paul Triple H Levesque. Um, and with Nick's leadership and Paul Levesque as chief content officer, I'm confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for its shareholders." That second part is very, very true. WWE
Absolutely.
is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. So all that like building up, all that like she was like WWE's in such a great place. We are in great hands. Everyone's doing great. Vince is back and I love it. And by the way, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm out. I'm gone. Bye bye. um. Anyway, I'll finish reading this real quick. Taking one step further with my official resignation, I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started as a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I am grateful for all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever, together, Steph. There's a lot there. There's a lot here. I
Dude,
mean,
I'm listening to this, reading this, and looking at the live chat, and it's a lot.
oh, and we're not done, by the way. I have more updates. I have more updates on the situation as it's evolving.
Oh,
From Fightful
my Twitter
Select, but
is exploding
from
at the
yeah,
at the
no,
moment.
Fightful, like Sean Ross Sapp is the greatest in the business because he just sends out stuff. Guys, go over to FightfulSelect.com and give that man $5. He's great. Um, Wow, oh, wow. All right. Let's go through the chat really quickly. But guys, put your questions in the chat. We are at this point, we're just following your lead. We're following everything's lead. We have no
Yeah,
show.
this is kind of like ground
OT
zero at
Graps
the moment.
23. It is the GOAT. This is a GOAT show. We got MGT saying this is crazy, man. It does not seem like a good time to be a WWE fan. AEW fans are effing celebrating right now. I'm sure there are some who are. Uh, we got CC in the chat saying it really is crazy. And also, I'm ready to watch the downfall of WWE. This is gonna be great. Wow. Okay. Hey now, guys. Hey now. All in good fun. Daniel in the chat says WWE is dead. Stephanie is now gone. Triple H is next. I'm not too sure about that. Wayne Wallace in the chat says Stephanie is gone. I think it's good for the future of WWE. Vince just returned to the company. I hope he doesn't screw up the top stars like Bray Wyatt. That's a big no-no. MGT, I still prefer WWE. I like AEW though. Yep.
I
Again,
hate to break it to
watch.
you, Wayne,
Sorry, what?
but I hate to break it to you, Wayne, but he did ruin top stars before. Spoiler alert.
Oh, sir, I'll have you know, I have already ruined all of your favorite WWE superstars. Um, all right. So this is let's gauge back in here. Shocking news: Stephanie McMahon resigning from WWE. We knew that last year, right? Like she said it in her statement there. 8 months ago, she decided to step away from WWE. This was before
Yeah,
any of the allegations came out. There are rumors and innuendo that WWE brass were aware that this report and these allegations were going to come out around that time, and that's potentially why Stephanie left early on. But regardless, she had already left 8 months ago. She came back into the fold after Vince had been forced to resign, right?
right.
And part of me is like, because I'm like thinking two very different things here. One of them I think is I think in the middle is the truth of both of them. Number one, Vince came back. She saw this as a toxic,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, not relationship, but a toxic situation that she wanted nothing to do with, and she wants to wash her hands of. But at the same time, I'm also like, the company is gearing up to sell, and at the end of the day, Stephanie did step aside 8 months ago when it was reported, and the reason that was given that she wanted to be closer to her family. She wanted to take a break. She'd been working as an executive in WWE for decades, and maybe it's time to just take things back a little bit and enjoy life, and that's great. I think the truth is in the middle of both of those because I think she sees this situation as a time to get out. And it just so happens to be when Vince is getting in, and she's like, if I do have a future as an executive, which she very well can, and I think she will, elsewhere, I think she's gonna wanna like at least backtrack on defending her father and just put some separation between her and her allegedly abusive father. Um Abusive to other women, allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly,
not her.
allegedly, do not sue me, WWE or Vince. But I mean, again, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of she wants a break, she needs a break, she deserves a break, and at the same time, she just does not want to be involved in business having to do with her dad, who is
Super toxic.
a lot of things. But Trevor, what do you think?
So let me actually ask you this because maybe
Yes,
I
sir.
read this wrong. Um, I read something like maybe last week that said pretty much Vince was threatened to sell if he couldn't be like pretty much CEO again. And I thought that's what I read, but I'm not sure if that's right or not. But I thought that's what I read somewhere. Um, but anyway, back to what we're talking about here. No,
Mhm.
I agree that Stephanie. I think Stephanie made the best move for her, not necessarily for the company, but for her. Like, us just be honest. Like, Steph has worked her tail off. I mean, for this company, she took a leave of absence in the first place, as you already covered.
Mhm.
She then then put herself in a role of leadership because that's what was good for business. Back in the day, her and Triple H always said was good for business, and that's what was good for business. And Triple H with creative control, great for business. Now she's stepping away from something that I believe is going to be extremely toxic. This is not the only breaking report we're going to be doing on this show. I'm pretty sure there's going to be much else and much worse. Like, dude, like it it breaks my heart because I know it's going to go down the toilet now. I just have a feeling that he's going to try to take creative control back over,
It is.
and it's not looking good for WWE right now.
Here's the thing. This could be. This very well could be like a red herring where Stephanie just kind of did this on her own, and well, I think she obviously did do this on her own, of her own volition. But I also think that, man, with this much uncertainty and the news that's come out over the past just few days, it looks like if WWE even were to sell, it's gonna be a situation where Vince says, I'm only selling if creative control is on the table." Like, I like, and I know that this is not a report. I
Right.
Complete speculation on my part. I want that to be, noted. That was complete speculation, but Vince is that type of person. The type of person who would who was like, "No matter what, I'm gonna go down with the ship. This is mine, and I'm going to have my stamp on everything." That's the way he's always portrayed himself. It's the way he's always acted. That is him.
Yeah.
And
He's always been that angry, jealous, bratty little kid.
this dude retired not even 6 months ago, and
Yep.
now we're talking about him coming back in as the chief shareholder of the company, and then on top of that, Stephanie McMahon leaving, and there's a lot. There are a few housekeeping notes that I wanna, get to real quick. This is
Absolutely.
from, Fightful Select. Again, go to fightfulselect.com, subscribe to Sean Ross Sapp, he does a lot of great stuff. WWE confirmed to Fightful that Nick Khan would be serving as a solo CEO of the company, or the solo CEO of the company, and it was
Sheesh.
reiterated via WWE sources that Triple H is still chief content officer and in charge of live events and talent. This has been stressed repeatedly to us. So, it seems like the messaging coming out of WWE right now is that, yes, confirming Stephanie is out. Nick Khan is the sole CEO, and Triple H is still in charge of content. He's still in charge of talent. He's still in charge of live events. All that, nothing else has changed. Stephanie is out, and that there are not going to be any other big changes right now. Of course, Trevor, as someone who works in PR, I can tell you,
Yeah.
if there were gonna be changes and we knew about them, and I'm on WWE's PR team, like hell I'm gonna tell you, Fightful. And that's not against
Exactly.
Fightful. That's like hell I'm gonna tell you anyone in the media, like hell I'm gonna tell you anyone in the public at all. Like, they
Exactly.
would
I'm
not
not
let
telling
that
you
get
that.
out. But Nick Khan comes into that role. The other note here, um, is that ooh, Stephanie McMahon led an employee meeting on January 6th where she admitted, quote, "There's naturally some animosity," unquote, before connecting the term angst regarding some feelings about Vince McMahon forcing his way back in. So
Yeah.
there's that part of the
I mean,
report. Oh,
there were
wow.
reports that the backstage didn't want him back anyway.
Oh, the reports are that people are terrified to have Vince McMahon anywhere close to the company because they were. Here's the thing: if you were a WWE talent in August on in 2022, you were like over the moon with the Triple H, the on a riding in on a white horse, saving the creative of this
Right.
company. No more rewrites. No more tossing out the script and doing crazy, stupid, terrible jokes that no one's gonna laugh at. None of that. It's long-term storytelling, fun TV, right?
Yep.
Have I enjoyed every minute of it? No. But
No.
generally, WWE has been night and day as far as where it was when Vince was in charge and where it's been with Hunter in charge. Night and
Absolutely.
freaking day. Like and this man, I'm telling you, Vince here, like it is. I don't know. Have you ever seen that show Succession, Trevor?
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. He is exactly like the dude Logan Roy, the he's the
Yeah.
patriarch of the family that the show is
Yep.
built around, and he did this exact same thing. He stepped down, and then he's like, "I ain't going nowhere." Like, it's absolutely
This is
ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I
this
don't
is
know what
crazy.
we're doing. Trevor, save me. What's going on? React to any of this. Like,
Dude, like I'm still speechless. Still absolutely speechless. Like this is crazy. Like I said before, there have been reports about the backstage people being afraid, like you said, the terrified of this man to come back. Like he didn't do any favors for WWE. And, like Raw was damn near unwatchable. Like like me and you both thought that Austin Theory was terrible with his tutelage. Now he's watchable. Triple H made him watchable. Like the Bray Wyatt is back, and like hopefully he starts getting some bookings because he was not done well when he was when before. Like there were some things they did great about him, but there were some things they did awful with him. Like that whole match with him and Randy Orton was absolutely terrible. But yeah, let's hope they stay on the right straight and narrow. But like I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't think it's gonna happen. First off, Nick Khan ain't that great either. I mean, it's
I
but you
mean, look. Here's the thing. Nick Khan. Here is what I will say about Nick Khan. That man is really good at his job. He is
oh,
really good at
absolutely,
his job.
absolutely, yeah,
Because his job is make sure this company is as profitable as it possibly can be
possibly can be.
by
Yep,
negotiating TV deals, negotiating international rights, and making the budget work. All
yep,
three of those things he has done and perfected in WWE. Like he has done very little wrong in WWE. I think there's like one hiccup that he's had, but other than that, like it's been smooth sailing. That being said, that last part making the budget work and the budget cuts, that ain't great. but
no, no,
but that's why they're in the position to sell right now.
yeah,
I'm gonna go through read some of the chat questions real
let's
quick
do
or
it.
the chat statements. Let's go through them. We got where are we starting here? We got CC saying
Um,
also, yo, CC. MGT says, if you think Vince doesn't want to take over creative again, then you are a fool. He wants to. I mean,
oh, he
there's no
definitely wants to.
question. There's no question.
That's the main reason he came back.
There is a report that came out. I disagree with that. I think the main reason he came back is to sell the company. I
Oh
think
well, yeah, that
he's
too. That
resigned
too.
to the fact that okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Like I think Vince, to an extent, is kind of like, if I don't get creative control back, that's fine. I just want to make as much money as possible by selling this thing that I worked my entire life on, right?
Right.
So we got MGT saying Bray Wyatt is always booked fine by Vince. I love you, MGT. I
Yeah,
cannot in good conscience read that. That is
that's false.
um you guys remember a few weeks ago on Impact Television, Bobby? Well, no, you don't because like 4 people watched that. But Bobby Fish came out and cut this promo on Bully Ray, and Trevor, you could hear a rat piss on cotton. That's how quiet it was in the Impact
Now
Zone.
that's Southern.
That's very southern. It was like there were like probably 100 people in the audience, right? So there would be some noise. It was quieter in the pandemic as Bobby Fish cuts this lame promo, but brilliant at the end. He just goes, "Haha, folk, where's the lie?" And it is so quiet, Trevor. It's like I'm gonna send you the clip and you can watch it afterwards. It's like
That's
eerily quiet. Like you'll be like,
wow.
"Yo, do I have the sound mute on? Like what's like?"
That's
It's wild.
crazy.
Anyway, that's the lie. I love you,
Yeah.
MGT.
That's
But man, Vince was really good at taking the good parts of Bray Wyatt and just making them
and
crap.
ruin 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I said early on he did pretty well with him, but like with his solo career, not so much.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm wired up on coffee. We got
Yes. I'm all
MTV.
hyped up on Mountain Dew.
That's what I was thinking about saying. I don't drink soda. MGT says WWE going private again is a good thing, right? We'll get into that. That's a good
Yeah,
question. I'll get into that. We'll
very
get
good
into that
question.
later.
Very good question.
I will, yeah, but because there's a chance it might go private, there's a chance it might stay public. There's a lot of different possibilities with the sale looming. CC in the chat says, I predict within 5 years, WWE will sell and then the company will fail due to creative differences amongst the new executives or just in general. I I mean, first of all, I think they're gonna sell not in 5 years, but like they could sell within like 5 months. Like
They
this is going
could.
to be
I don't
like
think they are though.
they will. I think they're gonna Vince forcing his way back. He's gonna sell this company.
Oh, it's gonna be sold. Absolutely. I think it's gonna be longer, like a year maybe. But
yeah. Like I think that's the timeline. It's
yeah,
gonna be anywhere between the next 6 to 12 months. That's how
yeah.
long it takes to negotiate this kind of stuff on that level, on that scale. Um, but yeah, I mean, fail. It depends on what we mean by fail. I I cannot see WWE will not go out of business in 5 years. Like I don't see
No,
that
no,
happening. They're too popular. They're too much of an institution, right? It's like
right.
like what's a dessert that will never fail? Apple pie, right? Like, it's as
Yeah,
American as apple pie. WWE is like as eh, especially in like nerd geek culture. We do a show about it, Trevor. Like it's wrestling, right?
yeah.
It's still popular. Um, but yeah, I mean they're the number one trend on Twitter whenever they have a show. So it's just this is how it is. Like
I haven't.
wrestling's popular enough, I think. WWE, the content could the quality of the content could very well go down if the wrong people are in charge of creative.
Oh, absolutely,
But if
absolutely.
Triple H is in charge, I think they're going to be fine.
I have a thought,
Go for it.
right? And it won't happen because Vince is that arrogant. But what if your cousin, old Nicky Khan, decided to try to put his hat in the ring and buy WWE?
My cousin Nikki, who you mean Tony?
Tony Khan, yeah.
So okay, Tony
Like I said,
Khan.
it wouldn't happen for a
Yeah,
number of reasons.
I
But
understand. I understand
one
why.
being Vince McMahon, he's too arrogant. They won't let that happen. But what if?
Do they have the money? The Khan family has the funds to do it, and they can
Oh,
raise
absolutely.
way more. They can raise as much money as just about anyone other than like Saudi, because Saudi Arabia has like $600 billion. If they wanted to just YOLO, they could YOLO right now.
Pretty
But
much, yeah. Good.
but I think there are two big obstacles in Tony Khan purchasing it. Number one,
Right.
I just do not think the interest is there. I just don't
No,
think
it's
the
not.
interest
It's
is
not.
there. I don't think he wants that. He has
No.
worked on building AEW, and that's his baby. If he's gonna put money
And
into
the
anything,
thing
he's
is,
gonna
he
put money
never
into
really
it.
wanted. He doesn't want WWE to end. He actually liked likes WWE. He's voiced that many times.
That's the
So
comparison he's made. Like he said that like guys like WWE is Coke, we're Pepsi.
yeah,
Like
you
Coke
know,
is still the most popular soda, but Pepsi's like the second alternative. And
exactly.
sometimes and a lot of people prefer Pepsi to Coke. Look, and this is not me AEW versus WWE. This is purely soda talk. Real take
Right.
soda talk. I prefer Pepsi to Coke. That's just my thing. Anyway, that's off
I'm not a
topic as
Coke
all
fan
hell,
either,
but
but still,
number 2, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon has the power to say no. Like he's going to
yeah.
decide who the company's going to sell to and who they don't sell to. Vince is the guy in that situation, and I don't think he's going to want to sell to Tony Khan. I don't think he's going to want to do that. That's a pride thing with Vince McMahon. He's a very prideful individual. Let's continue
Yep.
through some. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
No, I'm reading. I'm reading and looking at and talking to you.
Oh, got it. You walk and chew bubblegum, Trevor. MGT in the chat says Vince is an egomaniac, crazy old man that won't stop until he gets what he. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's yes, I agree. MGT says I meant he gets what he wants. Yeah, I figured. Thomas Scott says I still believe Stephanie's camp was the one who leaked the story to Wall Street Journal. She left the first time before the story came out, and now her and 3 board members resigned. Stephanie was on the board when they unanimously told Vince not to come back, and he did not anyway. And now Stephanie and the 3rd board members are out. And
Mm.
WA is artsy.
That's what I was laughing at. Thomas Scott, a winner is you, sir.
Here's the thing. You say that, right?
But I like RC Cola.
But I like some of NWA. I don't like right now NWA. Like Tyrus is garbage. Like Tyrus is absolute hot garbage. And
yeah, I thought
that's a
the
good
choice
one. I
to
like
give him
that.
the belt.
What does that make
was,
Impact Wrestling? Are they like
they're Shasta?
What the hell is that?
Exactly.
RC Cola. Big
No,
you popped me, Thomas.
Rock Creek. They're Rock Creek soda.
Got him. Big shout out to the Ethiopian Mart in Brookland. Big on Rock Creek.
Actually used to love Rock Creek soda, but anyway.
We got Aaron Betts saying this was all a master plan from Vince to return anyway. He's a genius in the boardroom, but out of touch with talent. He's gonna run the company into the ground. MGT says Vince doesn't want a WrestleMania to happen without him. Well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and he's gonna be somewhat part of the company at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Betts rounds us out for this round. We are going to continue the stream. The stream's not going to stop. But he rounds us out here, and he says he strategically returned on the road to WrestleMania.
He's not wrong.
Not wrong. Vince really said it's gonna be my WrestleMania journey.
It's not anyone else. Me.
Not Trevor A. Universe. It's the Royal Rumble. We're all waiting. Everyone's waiting for number 30.
Oh,
everyone's
Jesus.
chanting Cody. And then the lights go down and you hear no. Wait, you hear wrestling has only one royal family. Oh no. That's too good, Vince. If you're watching, don't do that, please.
Please don't. We're hoping you don't.
For God's sakes, don't do that, please. Oh my God. Freaking mess. Anyway, welcome if you're just joining us. Stephanie McMahon has resigned from WWE. She's resigned from her CEO title. Nick Khan will assume full authority as the sole CEO of the company. Triple H will remain in his title as chief content officer. Vince McMahon is now executive chairman of the company as he made his return just a few days ago by forcing his way back in and eliminating a few members of the board. Trevor, a lot of jokes were told just now, but let's get serious for a second.
Right, absolutely.
People say all the time, where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot changing in WWE right now. Do you think that this is just a just kind of like one of those waves that's like bound to happen, and then things will kind of go back to normal. Vince will like just sell the company and be done. Or do you think that there's a little bit more here?
I, you know, like most people, I guess I'll say this and not really mean it because I don't think there is anyone who's technically normal, but quote unquote normal people see things black and white, right? There's no other colors, just straight down black and white. So when you talk about the situation, a lot of people are gonna say it's cut and dry, it's black and white, like every like whatever they can use to describe this. I think there's a little more meat in this potato than people are you know are looking at. I think there's a little more than what we're given here. I think there could be, and this is all everything I say at this point is speculation, of course.
Oh,
I
everything
think
Kurt ever says is always speculation. And
true.
90% of the things I say are speculation. All of this is speculation.
All this is speculation. All this is speculation. But like, no, really, I think there could be some truth to him wanting. There's no truth to it. He does definitely wants creative control back. I think there is some truth to the fact that he will sell if he doesn't get what he wants. I think he's going to sell anyway, but I think he'll be tempted to sell even more if he doesn't get exactly what he's looking for. I think what we're dealing with right now is what MGT said. We're dealing with a egomaniac who is scorned right now. He's not happy with what's going on. We've proven that WWE can survive without the great Vince McMahon, and he doesn't like that. He's not happy about it. That's something that is he's not going to deal with. That's something that he's not going to tolerate. And for this company to strive, he has to be part of it. And that's what I think. Honestly, again, that's speculation, but that's what I think. Part of it is if you're going, straight down the middle and you're veering off to different exits. I think that's one of the exits, one of the many exits you can go to.
Yep. Again, Vince McMahon was unanimously voted or unanimously appointed as the executive chairman of the company by WWE's board of directors. As Stephanie McMahon said in her departure note, Thomas Scott says, "Control your narrative." Is Sam's Cola. I don't even know what Sam's Cola is.
It's from Sam's Club.
Oh my god, that Great Value Cola. Who's Great Value Cola? Is that
Isn't that that's Walmart, right?
Yeah, that's Walmart. Like who would Great Value Cola be? Probably Impact or TNA. TNA is
TNA.
Great Value Cola. Yes. Not Impact, TNA.
TNA.
TNA. And someone let me know for God's sakes what Sevilla is too. Anyway. MGT says, "Have you guys seen T-Bar as Dijak in NXT?" I did see T-Bar as Dijak in NXT.
Dijak Dajakovic.
Dijak Dajakovic, or as Keith Lee likes to say, Dijak.
Dijak.
No, I very much like Dijak. Yes, I'm Keith Lee. I throw people around for a living.
Dude, he does not sound like he should, like he looks. He sounds like he should not sound that meek and mild. He sounds like a really nice guy. His size is
Parker Boudreaux talk. He doesn't sound like he looks either.
Parker Boudreaux is hilarious to me.
Bro, Parker Boudreaux is a G. Look at his Twitter. It's hilarious. Like he's chained out. He's hanging with Swerve. It's great. That's actually like his boy in real life too.
Yeah, I found that out. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, back to the news of the day, the week. No, knowing wrestling, it's not the news of the week. Something big's gonna happen. Something even bigger is gonna happen. Like there's gonna be like, I don't know.
Probably tomorrow.
Tony Khan's gonna sign Goldberg or something. Oh God.
Something ridiculous is gonna happen.
Imagine Soraya's tag team partner. Actually, Tony couldn't make it, so I had to get help from someone who you all might know.
I would be upset. I
I
would
would
be
just be like,
totally
okay, and we are done watching this program tonight.
upset. I was
I
actually shocked that it was Tony Storm actually.
think it's still gonna be Sasha Banks or sorry, Mercedes Monet. Although, real quick before we'll talk more about Stephanie and MGT, we'll get to your question from earlier about the company, but real quick, thoughts on Sasha Banks' New Japan debut?
I saw it. I enjoyed it thoroughly, actually. What'd you think about it?
Look, it's okay. This does not define her debut, and it will not define her run, which is going to be great because she's amazing, and I
Right.
love her. Huge fan. That move was botched. I think it's
Yeah.
okay to say it. It was. It's
It
okay. It
was.
happens.
It
It's pro
definitely
wrestling.
was.
People get
It
nervous.
happens.
Everyone like
You
it
know,
happens, right?
this is a big stage. It happens.
That was like the one negative. The other thing was, and she will get better at this because she's Sasha freaking Banks and she's Mercedes Monet. She's amazing. The style of promo she was cutting was very
Yeah.
much a WWE promo, which
Hmm?
when it's presented on New Japan television, it just does not work the
Go
same,
over well. Mm-mm.
right? It just does not work the same. And she'll get better at it. In AEW, that kind of stuff tends to work better. She'll be fine. But like I understand why people were saying, this might have missed. If it did miss for you, I understand why. That being said, the people out there who were saying that, oh, she's gonna, she's gonna fail and outside of the WWE and all that stupid nonsense. Um, I disagree. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, like people point to, okay, I love this. People who claim to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling like religiously, claim to watch New Japan, right? They're like, I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling all the time, and Sasha Banks didn't get the pop that X person did. I'm like, have you ever seen a New Japan show, my G?
Exactly.
The pops aren't loud. Like that's not how the
Yeah.
crowd has been conditioned. They just got the right to clap back. like
Yeah.
they couldn't clap before like a few months ago. So
Yep.
like is it's okay. It's okay. It's New Japan. She's gonna have a freaking amazing match with Kyrie. She's gonna have an amazing match with everybody over the next few years. She's the CEO of professional wrestling, bro.
Yeah.
She's Mercedes Monet. Monet?
I,
Monet.
I like her. I like her name though. I like that
I
she
like that
went with.
music. Money.
Yeah. I
Money.
like that too. And I
Money.
liked her little
Money.
her whole interest actually was kind of
Money.
cool. Yeah.
I'm just gonna ad lib over your whole thing. Money. Money.
Money.
It's like another version of like the moose thing. Like you know how moose comes out.
Oh yeah. Moose.
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 Moose. He's like honking the he's he's a
Yeah,
truck
that's
driver.
funny.
Moose. So imagine you driving a truck and instead of going it goes moose.
Moose.
I'd be like, what the heck?
Oh
Um
man.
Anyway, let's get back to the topic. We'll read a few of your chats, guys. We got Thomas in the chat saying if WWE goes private, Vince won't get in trouble with the SEC and the government because it's a private company. I'm not an expert on that, so I'm not going to say yes or no, but that there's a chance he doesn't get in trouble at all just because even if it is still public because he's rich and white. Yeah, that's just true. I'm sorry. It's just
Hey,
true.
it's
I
the country we
call it
live
like
in,
I see
right?
it. And that is not casting aspersions on anyone. It is just the unfortunate truth of hierarchy and just our problems that exist in our society.
Yep.
MGT in the chat says all of Vince's problems in the company go away with the company going private. Thomas also says, but if WWE goes private, they won't get the same amount of money for rights, private as a private company, as a public one. I don't know about that. I mean, the TV rights are going to be the same no matter what,
Yeah.
because
No, no
that's
matter what.
not that has very little or nothing really to do with whether or not the company's private. It has more to do with, are people watching and are people interested, right? That's the main thing, and people watch. WWE Raw is among one of the highest rated shows in that time slot. Same with SmackDown. I think SmackDown is actually the highest rated show on network television, and at that Friday Night Death slot that they're in.
Mhm.
And so, like, it's the same thing with AEW. AEW is a private company. They're going to get a much bigger deal in 2024 when their negotiations come up. Much bigger.
Oh yeah.
We got Storm in the chat saying Vince is very smart, basically held the company hostage over media rights to get back on the board, and then it goes for sale. Now Stephanie leaves. Vince voted in as chairman, back in power. He is a this was I'll say it's a ruthless move. It's a smart move, and it is, you could argue it's a scummy move. Storms also in the chat says, "No, he is the chairman of the board. He can do vote of no confidence to remove Triple H and Nick Khan." Yeah, he can. He could have
No,
done
you can.
yeah, he could have done that anytime. I mean, it is, if he does, oh, okay, that would be the biggest that might be the biggest story of the year. If you
Yeah.
remove Triple H and Nick Khan on the same day, could you imagine? It'd be great for me.
Sheesh.
I'd be talking about it for hours, but this was catastrophic for professional wrestling. It set
Oh,
wrestling back so much.
terrible.
Um, MGT says Tessa Blanchard and Daga announced their divorce. If anyone gives a crap, I'll tell you what, MGT. I have not cared about Tessa Blanchard in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Is she even wrestling now? What is she doing now?
She hell yeah. She was in WoW. She was doing
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. She was a
yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Tessa Blanchard was out here, just not on a major wrestling show. Here's the thing. What happened to Tessa Blanchard was not sad in that I feel bad for her.
No, not at all.
It is just insane to me, right? Because it's one thing when you're young and stupid and you say
Right.
stupid stuff, and it's stuff you should have no right to say, no one should say, right? And you say it in a hurtful way, like she allegedly did, right? For someone not to see that as a problem and just own up, apologize, and just carry on, do your best to make amends, because I, like, personally, like, I'm someone who, like, for like, I really do believe unless you seriously hurt someone, like, people, like, are like, you are not beyond, I guess, not reconciliation, but you're not you're not beyond, I guess, redemption in that way,
Right.
right? Because, like, you can make your life better. She was like 20, like, when those allegations first came out, she was like, I think, like 24 or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very young. And I'm like, okay, you said some stupid crap when you were young. Racist crap. Let's be clear. You said some racist crap. I'm sorry. It's not just stupid, it's racist. But
Racist.
okay, own up to it. Try and just try to be better. But she has not done that, and said she's doubled
Mhm.
down and said, like, no, hell no, I didn't. Even though there's a lot of people who say the otherwise, and I don't know. It's just kind of sad. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, man, it really is sad to see like someone just not get it. But
It's a great talent, you know.
that's the other thing. I mean, yeah, first ever Impact women female Impact world champion. That's crazy. Um,
Second second generation star.
Tully, he's like, we're gonna get the band back together.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, back to Vince McMahon real quick. Um, it is. Oh, CC's like, I love how we can all agree that Vince is a piece of, yeah, he is a piece of human excrement.
He is.
IMO, in my opinion. Um, if I had the chance, if someone said, "Do you want to be friends with Vince McMahon?" I'm like, hell no.
Oh no.
I want to be friends with that guy.
I
Like,
mean, I only want to be friends with him just to tell him what I think about him.
if
Then
I can get in the same,
after
okay,
that,
I will say that I'm friends with him just so I can get in the same room and I don't know, prank him or something, or make him look stupid,
no.
like, and
Sir,
get a
you're a
camera
suck.
in there. Do impractical jokers with Vince McMahon. But then it'll just turn into one of the Bubba the Love Sponge's home videos. That just whoa. Okay, we're not gonna go there. I'm not.
I think we're
This
beyond that.
show, yeah, well, look, the nonsense is still here. The nonsense is still here on this
Of
show,
course.
of course.
Oh man.
Moving on, Trevor, I want to go back to a point that or a question that MGT asked, a very insightful question
Oh
from
yes.
our
Yeah,
good
yeah.
friend and mod MGT, who said, and I'm gonna try to find the exact question, unless you can find it first, Trev. Ah, here. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. It was WWE going private again is a good thing, right? Was that it?
I think that was it because we didn't really talk about that.
Was that it? MGT, let us know in the chat if that was it. Kind of stupid. I don't remember things. It's been a long day.
I don't either.
I've been up
I
since
don't think it has anything to do with my intelligence. I'm just old.
7 a.m. Someone out. Okay, no, y'all didn't come here to listen to that. Y'all came here to talk about some other stuff. You got Mr. Carroll in the chat saying Vince screwing over his own daughter. His father of a lifetime award, buddy. Yeah. I
Trust me,
would
that's not the
disagree.
only thing he deserves it for.
Yep. Thomas in the chat says if either Nick Khan or Triple H leave, we're effed. If Triple H, here's the thing: Nick Khan can leave, and all WWE is losing is maybe the inside track on better negotiating power. But
Right.
if Triple H leaves, the product gets significantly worse.
Yeah, we
Like,
saw what happened when he wasn't there.
Thomas in the chat says, I can't remember a person ruining their career more than Tessa Blanchard, other than Patrick Clark, aka Velveteen Dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-inflicted wounds there, buddy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, CM Punk, but still.
I don't want to put him in. Look, CM Punk was in the wrong in that press conference. I'm not putting him in the same class as this.
You're right.
As
You're absolutely
Velveteen
right.
Dream. I'm not even. Yeah, no,
No
not
one
going
deserves
there.
to be in the same class as Velveteen Dream.
That is a special class. We got MGT in the chat saying Jinder Mahal has returned to. Thank you for breaking this news for the show that we're not watching right now.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Unhindered Jinder, your future NXT champion. Did you see the discourse online about Jinder Mahal?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I promise we'll get back to Stephanie in just a second. Just let us do our shiznit real quick. Hit that like button, subscribe. So there was a little bit of discourse going on because it was like the fifth. Was it the? It was like was it the fifth? No, it was like I don't know. It was someone posted a video of Jinder Mahal like winning the WWE championship, and then people were like, "Oh, it sucked. It was the worst decision ever," and people got mad at other people for like defending it as a good reign. Here's the thing, right? There and people were getting like I don't know, and it wasn't like anyone like you or I know, but it was just like there were a lot of like weird stuff going on. I was like, especially in comment sections, and I'm just like, guys, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's Jinder Mahal, guys. Stop getting
Exactly.
worked
Like,
up
come
about
on.
Jinder Mahal, right? I like, and I don't know where you fall on the whole Jinder thing. I will say I am biased when it comes to Jinder. Like I'd be crystal clear. I enjoyed that title reign way more than I should have. I enjoyed that title reign probably way more than anyone who's watching the stream did. And it had everything to do with the fact that Jinder Mahal is from Punjab. I'm from Punjab. And someone like me someone who looks like me won the WWE championship.
I didn't know you guys were from the same place.
Well, it's like okay, so India used to be the same thing, right?
Right.
And Britain drew a line in between one province.
Gotcha.
So like Jinder Mahal's family and my family basically like lived like probably like within 5 miles of each other.
Oh wow.
Probably. This probably. Like a lot of
But I
there were a
mean,
lot of yeah, anyway, sorry.
no,
But
you're absolutely right. But no, that's I
yeah.
mean, I can understand why that so here's the thing. I don't necessarily think Jinder was the greatest wrestler. or is the greatest wrestler.
No, I don't think that. I want to be clear. He's not great. He's
No,
not great.
but I understand why it was a big thing. Like when, dude, like for instance, when The Rock won the Intercontinental Championship, yo, like me and my mom and my brother were like through the roof. Like at the time, it was one of the first African Americans to win I mean, yes, he's part Samoan too, but he was
He's
one of the
half black,
first
half Samoan.
person of color to win the Intercontinental Championship. It was all about representation. And that's why I understand why it made sense why you were so happy about it. I mean, I get it. It makes sense.
And here's the thing, right? For at least the first like 2 weeks, it was cool because it was just so out of left field, right? It was just so
Right.
out of left field. You had to tune in because you were like, well, what is happening? The promos weren't great. The racist promos against Shinsuke Nakamura were bad. Like I want to
Oh,
be
they were
crystal clear
terrible.
about that, right?
Absolutely terrible.
But I am also like so, and that's creative. That's a creative thing. Although he did say it, but creative thing. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's a long way of me trying to say like, guys, it's pro wrestling. Like, no need to attack each other online and get in a weird Twitter beef over it.
Yeah.
It's wrestling. It is it's subjective too, man. Like honestly, if you genuinely enjoyed Jinder Mahal's title reign, great. Dude, listen to the music you want to listen to. Play your music your own way. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We got MGT in the chat saying, not many people would have wanted to put over Jinder Mahal like Randy did. Randy put him over too.
Super over.
He put
Oh,
him
super
over.
over.
Like people cannot say that Randy Orton is not like putting people over, or has not put people over. He has. He's the anti Triple
He
H in that
definitely
respect.
has. Yeah.
And suddenly I'm gonna get a lot of crap about that Triple H comment. Thomas in the chat says Randy Orton somewhere punching a ceiling because Jinder is at NXT. Whoa, he's gonna have to stand up to punch. I'm not gonna. Nope, don't make a Randy Orton injury joke. Anyway, um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, it's the coffee. I swear to God. I love Randy Orton. It's all love and all jokes here. We got Thomas Scott saying Jinder's theme is fire. Hell yeah, Jinder's theme is fire. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. That is a fire theme.
You know what?
Jinder's
Yeah.
theme. It's a
Yeah, it
fire theme.
is. Yeah,
Like
it is.
worst case, the entrance he had when he was WWE champion was great. Like the
Oh, it
carpet,
was.
the LED
It
carpet
definitely
rolling out for him.
was.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't care what any of y'all say. Plus, Brown World Champion, I'll take it. Even if it's Jinder
Absolutely.
Mahal, I'll take it because it's the silly world of pro. Okay, last thing I'll say, guys, it's the silly world of pro wrestling. At the end of the day, if you don't like it, don't watch. Just don't get mad about it. And I say that as I'm about to get mad about something. Stephanie McMahon gone from the company, Trevor. Right as they are gearing up to sell, we've heard a lot of people are in the mix. Saudi Arabia is in the mix to buy this potentially. Disney has an inside
I
track.
was
NBC Universal has the
about
inside
that one.
track on this.
I was
Sorry.
so pissed when I heard Saudi Arabia.
Here's the thing. I was until I thought of. Well, I'm still pissed, but like, I was like, what? Until I really thought about. It. I was like, oh, unlimited money, propaganda, and they have an established relationship. This is like it's a likely like I put them up there like if I had to rank who I think is going to buy the company like a top 3, number 1 would be NBC Universal. Right under them would be Saudi Arabia, and then number 3 would be Disney. Because don't
Amazon's up there too.
discount the fact that Saudi Arabia has $630 billion to work with. Now, they're not gonna give up all that for WWE. They're not even gonna give up
No,
like like 5% of that, right?
right.
But WWE is going to sell, right, for somewhere in the ballpark of like 5 to 10 billion. Like that's the ballpark number that
Park.
analysts have thrown
Yeah.
around. And like UFC in 2016, I believe, sold for just about over $4 billion. Like it just seems like they have multiple billion-dollar deals with and all these international people forget WWE makes a lot of money over their American rights deals, they make a lot of money too on their international TV rights deals. Like, they
They
are
do.
in every freaking country in the globe. So, I think and they have deals with every single channel in every single country that they're in. So, they have a lot of revenue streams there. Um
Definitely. Did you hear that Amazon was in the running for it too?
Oh, Amazon's in the running. Amazon is in buy mode right now, right? They are in
Yeah.
complete, like, we are buying shiznit until this works. Like,
Dude, they're buying everything. Yeah.
well,
I
it was
mean,
what Netflix,
they
remember
bought the rights to
Netflix,
Thursday football.
that's what Netflix did for a while too. Like, that's a cyclical thing, right? Netflix did it. Peacock is just stopping doing this. Like,
Yeah. No.
like companies, when they start their streaming service, they will buy up product. They will license shows. They will license rights. They will put money and into production of new shows and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, after like few years of doing that, they go into the thing of, okay, we spent a lot of money. Let's slow down. Let's slow way down. Um, but yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, Thomas Scott in the chat saying Sami Zayn is a Muslim and wouldn't work for WWE if they were sold to the Saudis. He's never gone to Saudi Arabia when they do a crown jewel show because of religion. Yeah, and ditto with Sami Zayn on that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like, that's another. I talked about that in a video I made earlier this week about that topic, guys. Like, and this is like a personal thing for me too. If, like, legitimately, if Saudi Arabia bought WWE, I'd have to, like, really reevaluate whether or not I wanted to keep up with the product. And it's not a content thing. It's not a creative thing. It's like a personal thing of, like, just, do I want to like, potentially, what's it called? Contribute to the propaganda machine and all that kind of stuff that is the government of Saudi Arabia. The people have nothing to do with the actions of the government. That we need to make that clear, right? Real take global politics talk coming your way. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I've gone on, like, so many sides, Trevor. But let's talk about, like, some of these other partners that they could sell to. Like, we've heard Peacock, NBC Universal, excuse me, is like the favorite. It would make a lot of sense if it was NBC.
Oh, absolutely.
They
Yeah.
have two big deals with WWE right now, right?
It makes super sense. Honestly, Amazon would make a little sense too. Honestly, I mean, just because of the fact that, like you said, Amazon is pretty much buying everything they can put their hands on. They bought the rights to Thursday Night Football, um, and they have been putting out um, a bunch of streaming shows recently. Like it's possible, and Disney wouldn't surprise me either. Disney definitely wouldn't surprise me. As much as Disney has bought in the past, they own Marvel, they own George, they own LucasArts and like Star Wars and all that stuff. Like it makes sense. That one would probably be less entertaining though because it's a Disney brand, so I don't know if they would keep the edgy tone, but you never know.
Oh, they edgy, bro. They ain't keeping no edgy tone. They bought Deadpool. They're fine. They have the
and
Simpsons, man.
Deadpool is what rated PG supposed to be this.
R
Is it
new Deadpool's
did
gonna be
they
rated R.
good? Thank goodness.
Bro, they bought Daredevil. Like, come on.
I mean, yeah, but Daredevil is rated PG-13.
MA. Did you even want? Do you even watch the product, you noob?
I do watch the product, but I'm just saying.
Noob! I'll have you know, I was there in person when Hulk Hogan returned in 2015.
And it's like, okay, sir, and
It's okay, sir, and I don't know where this is
it's
going.
not a good thing. It's not a good thing if you were there and you were cheering. Dude,
He is
that is
brethren from
hilarious.
your
Could you
life.
imagine if they Disneyfied the WrestleMania logo? Bunny ears, little rat ears.
This is Disney.
We're gonna bring WrestleMania Disney World. He's gonna see Epcot. That would actually be dope. Thinking like an Epcot set at Disney. Okay,
that would be kind of
this
cool.
is actually sounding great. Let's go to Disney World.
Let's do it, Disney.
Oh man,
That's
um,
hilarious.
we got Thomas Scott in the chat saying Vince said the whole N word. Yeah, he did. Wow.
Did.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that, and then like remembering that. Every now and then.
I try to forget that.
This man booked himself to say the N word on TV.
In front of a black man
And he
on national
booked
TV.
and he booked. Oh my god, that was oof.
And
Not
not
even
to
oof,
forget,
just why?
and not to mention, he had a match with Shawn Michaels and Jesus Christ.
Okay, this would make no difference in how bad this was. But it wasn't even like it was like part of a thing. He
No.
just it was a one-off cut. It's like a Family Guy cutaway, right? It just 30 seconds. The whole point of that segment was Vince gets to say the N-word.
Yep. And even the worst part about him fighting well, that was actually God, was God had an entrance.
Somebody come.
And it was just a white light walking down the ramp.
It was so bad.
Oh,
Cannot believe they actually did that.
I'm walking on water. Wasn't look. What am I doing, Shane? Making a mess. Oh dear Lord.
This is a fun time. No, it's not.
And he faked
MDC,
his
that's what
death.
we're talking about. Yeah, it was John Cena, but like Booker T was there too,
Yep.
and they cut to Booker T, and he just goes, "Tell me he didn't
Tell
just
me
say
he
that."
didn't just say that.
I cannot believe that was a thing. Um.
Yeah, that was upsetting.
Anyway, for those of you who are just joining us, first of all, welcome. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Stephanie McMahon, formerly Helmsley, has no, in all seriousness, Stephanie McMahon has stepped down as the CEO of WWE. Nick Khan, I almost said Tony. Nick Khan will be assuming full authority as the sole CEO. Triple H will be taking over as chief content, or will continue on, I should say, as chief content officer. I'm going to read her statement one more time for those of you who are just joining and didn't have a chance to do that with us. We'll go through it. It says, this is from Stephanie McMahon. The official statement says, quote, "About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence and within a few weeks unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board for WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chairman, as the executive chair, and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as chief content officer, I'm confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for its
Uh-oh.
shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I've decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. Notice how like it goes from like okay 5 miles per hour to like 60 real quick.
6. Yeah, exactly. 0 to 60
Says
real quick.
she went on to say, "I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid. Um, I will always remain dedicated to WWE, and I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I'm grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever."
Got more to say?
Together. I thought you were gonna do it with me together.
I'm so
Um,
sorry.
together, Steph. So there you go. That was the full statement that is on her Twitter page as well. Um, yeah, I mean, guys, you guys can leave questions if you have any in the chat, and we'll answer them for as long as they come in. But I mean, look, it is to say that things are in flux in WWE would be an understatement, right, Trev?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and you kind of expected that from everything that's been happening, but you didn't know exactly how, big of a flux or exactly what direction it was going to go in. But we talked about it. We talked about it briefly anyway about like it could get bad if Vince McMahon truly want it back in the company, and it looks like it's starting to take shape.
What, in your opinion, pure speculation, reckless speculation, whatever you want to call it, what do the next few months for WWE look like, in your opinion?
So I don't want to necessarily say ugly because I don't know for sure, but I don't believe it's going to look good, right? I think you're going to start seeing more and more people leaving, um, people stepping down. You might even see some quote unquote budget cuts. Um, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I think the product itself is going to take a hit. I don't think the Royal Rumble is going to look like what we perceived it to
Can I?
look like before
I'm, I'm,
any of
I'm
this.
I'm so sorry for interrupting. I just want to go back to that point. Why do you think the product is not going to look as good as it has been?
Well, whether or not, and it's still a question, right? It's still a question, and then most of us speculate that he is going to. That's what he wants. He wants creative control. Um, but even if he doesn't take creative control, it was something that me and you touched on earlier, and touched on a show like maybe a few weeks back. Um, when you have superstars who have voiced that they are not happy with what is going on, they're not satisfied. I mean, you can even use the word scared backstage. You don't perform the best, right? So your product can take a hit from a number of different ways. You can take a hit because your employees don't like working for you. They can take a hit because you ruined something that was already good because it's something that you wanted and crave creative control. Or it can just like start falling by the wayside with all the negativity going around. There are so many different paths that this can go. And honestly, like I said, I don't think the next couple of months are going to look that great.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I I struggle with. Here's the thing, right?
Mm,
I don't like to. I mean, there's sometimes where you and I just shoot this breeze, and we just recklessly speculate on everything, right?
right, right,
What
right.
one thing that I'm like very like, I guess, hesitant to always do is just jump to the, like, not the worst spot, but just jump to one of the worst possible conclusions that's out there, just because one or two things change, right? But at the
Right.
same time, with this situation, with knowing Vince's nature, knowing the nature of the business, knowing how much of a grip he has over this company, it is hard for me not to believe that I mean, he has the itch, right? The report came out from multiple sources. At least the Wrestling Observer newsletter had said Dave Meltzer said that Vince, when he was originally thinking about making his comeback, right, in December, his intention was to take back creative control, and he had to
Yep.
basically be talked out of it and be like, "Hey, look, like that's over and done with. Let's sell the company. You're back in charge, all that stuff, and then you
Right.
get to decide what happens." with this, like, this is like, and with the report coming out that there was a bit of animosity there, and, like, I didn't read out the full report because I do want people to go over to FightfulSelect.com. There's much more in
Mm,
that report than what I'm talking about, but one of the lines in the report does indicate that one of the reasons that Stephanie was bothered and a little bit maybe not as happy with her father was because she had her, like, basically her entire department gutted by these budget cuts. Because people forget, right?
right.
The talent budget cuts happened, right? At the same time, the company, the corporate side of WWE, were cutting entire departments during a pandemic. And people
Right.
ask me, right? Oh, well, why'd you get so mad about those budget cuts? And these wrestlers have the opportunity to go elsewhere and do all these other things and maybe make money elsewhere. I'm like, first of all, for a lot of younger and inexperienced talent, that's not always the case, right? Number
That's very
two,
true.
number two, when you're talking about here's the thing, when you're talking about employees, right, who have very little name recognition, very little to sell themselves on other than the fact that, yeah, I just got fired in the middle of a pandemic by my previous employer, it's like it is way harder for a lot of people, especially who they fire a lot of younger people, a lot of people who were disposable to them, who for other companies probably would be the same. Because that's how unfortunately, how a lot of corporate companies view things.
Right.
It it just like I was never okay. There were some of the budget cuts in general I disagreed with because I don't think you should as a billion-dollar company, billions and billions of dollar company. You should not be firing that many people in such a time of economic instability.
No, you shouldn't.
But
It's unfair to them.
for them to do that and cut countless amounts of employees, and cut their benefits, and cut their livelihoods with little notice, disgusted me. Truly disgusting. People ask me, "Why are you so harsh on WWE? Why do you say why do you always stress about the fact that you don't like WWE as a company?" That is why. Because they represent a scummy corporate just a scummy corporate, honestly, in my opinion, out of date mentality where the workers are indisposable to the bigger deal that is the company. But who is the company serving? It's not serving the best interest of its employees. It's serving the best interest of the shareholders, the executives who only took the company public, by the way, just so they could pocket extra money. That's the only reason you really take a company public. It has nothing to do with survival in this ever-changing global landscape. Oh, it's BS. You take a company
Right.
public, you just want to be able to give yourself shares and cash that paycheck. That's what it's about. Have that money on hand. Uh, so
Pretty
let's not
much.
pretend it's not anything. It's not. I I don't even know why I went on that rant. I just the corporate side of things, the come from a company standpoint, I don't like WWE. I probably will never like WWE given the way that they're known to do things. Could that change with the sale? Possibly. I don't know. If the same people are in charge, and this is all due respect to everyone, like Triple H is a great booker.
Absolutely.
But as an executive, I don't think he's any different really than Vince would be or anyone else would be. Uh, I'm sorry. I just ranted there.
You did. It was a good one too.
Yeah.
Had to wet the old whistle.
Yeah, hopefully that like hopefully, someone was inspired by that. I doubt it. We
You
got
never know.
Thomas Scott in the chat saying Stephanie was well liked in the back and morale was good with Stephanie and during the
It
meeting she
was.
told yeah, it was good. It was. And
Mhm.
during the meeting she told wrestlers nothing was changing and this is happening. Yeah, that is true. Wrestlers and employees were told just earlier this week that there were going to be no changes, no other big changes happening to the company. And that's what makes me think that we could see more changes on the horizon because They flat out lied because it's
Yeah.
our huge change. The CEO of your company stepped
Step
down.
down. That's a huge change. Dude, this is just nuts at this point, dude. Like you know, I didn't think coming into this show today, like you said, we had a fun show planned. A lot of dumb stuff and just being us. And this happens. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
MGT in the chat says there are people out there thinking Triple H is next to be out after Stephanie. I
I
believe
don't
it
think he's gonna
now.
step down.
Sorry, what?
I don't think he's gonna step down. I think they might just relieve him of his duties.
I don't think he would step down of his own accord, but I will say this: if you asked me, even like, if you asked me like 5 hours ago,
Right.
do you think there's a chance Triple H steps down or steps away from WWE? Hell no. I'm not past 50%, but I think there's probably like a 20% chance right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at as far as chances of him potentially leaving, which is way more than it ever was.
After his wife stepped down, like yeah, it's very possible that he might too.
He got Blazy in the chat saying, "Why is it always two dudes talking about WWE on this? Guys, WWE has not been good since 2014. I don't want to hear it,
You're
sir.
right.
Sir,
Sure.
you're damn right. It's two dudes. I'm sorry. The company CEO to the left. We gotta talk about it.
We got about
We gonna talk about it. I mean, we come back. We talked about AEW a little bit in there. Hey,
we talk.
We'll talk briefly about Dynamite before we log off.
But we have to talk about this though,
But
and I can't totally agree with you. I would have agreed with you about the 2014 thing until like Triple H took over.
hey, 2016 was a great year for WWE. That was a great year for WWE.
It was.
Like, okay,
2014
it was a great 8 months. It was a great 8 months. I will say
there you go. There you
from
go.
From when the new era started until you know what it was? The downfall was WrestleMania 33. Everything was downhill from there. It was bad after that. It was really okay. Halfway through that show, so I was saying halfway through that show because
I can
some
agree
things
with
on
that.
the show that were amazing. There were some things on the show that were absolutely dog crap.
I
But
can agree with.
I was on such a high with Bray Wyatt winning the title in 2017. I was like,
oh,
they're
absolutely.
doing it. And then I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. I beat Bray Wyatt. They talk to me.
It just like crashed into the ground.
It's on the ring. Okay. Jesus. Blazing the chat says WWE was at its prime when Kane and Daniel Bryan were taking finger. I don't know if I would call it its prime, but it was great television.
It was great television. Great television.
MGT, yes, SmackDown was that's what I'm talking about. SmackDown in 2016 was some of my favorite times watching pro wrestling because they had that. I don't know what it was. It was like because that was when SmackDown was run by Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, and they had like.
At the time, SmackDown was the best show for a very long time.
Ronaldo was the announcer. That's what it was.
Very long time.
I remember the reason I would enjoy crap matches even on SmackDown back then was Mauro Ranallo, Magic Man Mauro Ranallo was calling the action, and he could make anything sound great. I could listen.
Dude, he's one of the main reasons I watched NXT.
Dude, I could watch Lance Storm. No, I could watch paint dry. No, Lance Storm's a great wrestler. Don't care what MJF said. What'd you think about that line from MJF though? I gotta ask you.
That was interesting. I liked it.
The one where he goes like, in this cadence, like my 3 heroes told me that I'm the greatest wrestler of all time, and he goes. Legends like this guy
Inferno. I was like, what?
Yo, this man is a heel.
A super heel.
Don't need to go anymore. And then he was like, Vince Russo. And then I forgot who he said next. It was like Jim Cornette. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was
He
Jimmy Cornette.
completed the
Yeah,
trifecta of
of terrible
problematic
people.
wrestling podcasters.
Dude, like, do you remember way back? And this is getting off topic too, but we're already off topic. But
Cares.
do you remember when way back when, where in WWE, where Jericho was making fun of Lance Storm? I am Mr. Roboto. I have no charisma.
There was, I think I've told you this before, but WWE once released a special version of ECW One Night Stand with JBL mic'd up for
Yeah,
the entire night and just
yeah, I
like
remember telling
reacting
you
to the
before.
show. So you're watching the actual show, but instead of Joey Styles and Mick Foley on commentary, it's just JBL sitting up in the stands, was inebriated throughout the night. And when Lance Storm comes out, he stands up and starts screaming, "Oh my God, you can literally hear the paint dry."
Yeah.
That man.
Great wrestler, but sheesh.
Oh, terrible human being. Darth Grills in the chat says, "We were all screwed. Vince is gonna screw us." Oh. No.
What was that line off of Little Nicky? We're all really screwed now.
Vince didn't screw you. You screwed you.
According to
No,
Vince,
Vince
anyway.
probably screwed you. Thomas in the chat says, "It depends. Did Stephanie leave of her own accord, or was she forced out?"
There's nothing indicating that she was forced, but
I think it's one of those writing on the wall moments where you're just like, I'm just gonna get out. I got my shares, so when this company sells, I'm gonna make even more money. But
yeah, because like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like the toxicity that has to be going on right now, it's probably more than anybody can bear. And honestly, if she's smart, she would distance herself from her father.
we say this, but remember when he retired?
Yep.
You remember that day on SmackDown? You remember who the first person to come out was on that
Steph.
episode? It was Steph. Remember
Yep.
what she did? Grabs the mic.
Yep.
Let's all chant, "Thank you, Vince." And
I
she
mean,
led them in. I mean, it's her dad. It's her dad, right?
it's her dad at the end of the day.
It's her
but
dad. But I'm just saying,
also,
if you're trying to distance yourself, girl, distance yourself at least publicly. Like, oh,
yeah, but she's not gonna do it like that anyway. Like, I mean, even though even if that was like just part of like go with it, make it look good for TV type deal, which I don't think it was because I don't think Stephanie's that shallow, regardless of who her father is. Um, but I don't know. Still, you got to make it look nice. You know what I mean?
yeah. Fun times in pro wrestling, innit? Fun times.
Depends on what your definition of fun is.
No, not really. This is not. It's wild times for sure. The news dude. 2023 is not going to be any different than 2022 as far as wrestling news, is it?
2023, no.
You know
No.
what's the wildest thing? I keep forgetting this. The wildest thing about this Vince McMahon story isn't even like, and like the bigger story is getting buried here completely by Vince McMahon returning. The
Right.
biggest story here, guys, WWE's for sale. Like,
Right. And
keep
we're not even paying attention to it. It's
We're-
up for sale.
we're here talking about, "Oh, I wonder who's gonna leave next," and then I would think about it, I'm like, WWE's actually for sale. It's crazy.
And we've been saying it casually all night, like, and not even talking about it.
Yeah, we got Thomas in the chat saying Vince is gonna be on Raw, isn't he? Shaking my head. Okay.
Probably.
Forgot who it was. I think it was either Muscle Man Malcolm or I believe it may have been man, I forgot who it was. Whoever it was, I humbly apologize for stealing your line. But someone on my Twitter timeline earlier today said, and I quote, "Uh-oh, speaking of monster news, Brian Alvarez just said, I think monster news is imminent."
Oh dear.
What? Oh dear. What? This better be a joke. It better not be a joke, Brian. And we're like, there's a monster that debuts on NXT. I'm gonna be really mad if that's what it
Right.
was.
Oh dear.
Okay, Dave Meltzer. Okay, I'm just gonna go through. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go through some noting here.
Okay.
Just housekeeping here. So
Housekeeping.
Dave Meltzer just tweeted out. Just to clarify, Stephanie is also off the board of directors. So she is gone from the board of directors. The
I think
election,
someone mentioned that earlier.
the election of the board, like the election of Vince back to the board, took place after her resignation. So she was not involved in the vote. It is what it seems like.
Okay.
Wow. Now I'm like gonna be thinking about what the hell Brian Alvarez just tweeted.
Damn, Brian Alvarez.
There better be like this. There better be there better not be like a damn what's it called like a Godzilla monster on NXT. I'm gonna be so mad if that's what it is. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm too tired.
Actually, I'd be more entertained by that.
Brian Alvarez is like the talk of the wrestling town. Why don't you read out some chats while I do a thing real quick?
Okay. Well, my my reading apparatus is kind of.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. Here I'll just we'll riff here.
Okay.
Thomas saying, "Oh, is Triple H gone?" We don't know yet. Brian Alvarez just tweeted out, "There's monster news imminent." Again, guys, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know whether Brian's being sarcastic or not. This could either be bigger news or like Godzilla debuting on NXT. There is like no in between here.
Or just
there's like no. What?
I'm so mad.
Oh well, it's okay.
That would even be an option.
But those are the two things we're working with here, Trev. Those are the two things we're working with here. Yeah. Trevor, I think you're having some connectivity issues, my friend.
Am I? Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine.
I'm here. There we go.
Cool. Oh, okay. I think you're fine now. All right, cool. Anyway, we will. But yes, those are the two extremes we're working with here, guys. Because look, knowing Brian, this is either a joke or very serious.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's a joke.
I don't know, man. I kind of. Okay, hypothetically, okay, no, we should not recklessly speculate about what this might be.
No.
Because
not
then
with
we're gonna
Brian
get
Alvarez.
into trouble.
If it was anybody else, I'd say yes.
Not even Brian Alvarez. It's just like people are gonna like imagine someone joins the stream and we're just like, now that Triple H is gone, which if you're just joining now is hypothetical. But you guys want to know how I currently feel right now? You guys want to know how I currently feel? Guys, this is how I currently feel. Just exhausted. 6 months. You mean 12 months, man? Cody Rhodes and Stone Cold Steve Austin returning that was on the same day.
Yeah.
That broke on the same day, like a year ago.
It did. Definitely did.
Oh man. Wildness. Just absolutely wild time in pro wrestling. Man, we are an hour 30 minutes in. Guys, I think we'll probably start to wrap up here pretty soon. So get your questions in, get your comments in. Trevor,
talk to us.
Trevor, just as we wind down. We're not done yet, guys, but put your questions in. We'll see how long we go. But as we wind down. The magnitude of this, right? Like people who might think that this is like, just changing the happens or what, changing of the guard, all that stuff. Try to put into perspective here, like the magnitude, like how big is this, right, for WWE?
Oh man, negative or positive, it's probably one of the biggest things to happen in some people in wrestling in some people's entire life. Honestly, like I mean, I don't know the age of the people that would demographic, but like this might be like the biggest thing to happen. Like I'll say,
Vince McMahon retired 6 months. Ain't
jeez,
that wild?
it's crazy. You never even thought you'd see that. Like I mean, this is on a smaller scale, but put it like this: it's kind of like the people that when I was growing up, or whatever, the people that saw Hulk Hogan become heel, saw like Scott Hall go to go to WCW, invade WCW. It's of course it's on a smaller scale and it's something totally different, but it's kind of like that. That was the biggest thing in wrestling for a very long time. And that's kind of what this is now. This is like either catastrophic or exciting or whatever term you want to use. It's that. It's in this. It's big. It's huge. The fact that one of the companies that put wrestling in people's homes, one of the reasons that a lot of people who are pro wrestlers, one of the reasons that I wanted to be a pro wrestler is like being sold, which we have not really talked about. The owner retired 6 months ago. He retired. He said, "I'm gone." Whatever. Now he's trying to come back, and now his daughters, who picked up the ball and ran with it and helped run his company successfully, along with her husband,
And
is
Nick Khan.
gone. And Nick Khan, whether you want to give him any credit or not, in Nick Khan, and now she's gone. And like you can only help but speculate the reasons that she did. Like,
I will say, um, excuse me, Darth Grills or Gillies, Darth in
mhm,
the chat, so it makes a very good point here where they say, imagine how she must feel being between her dad and her husband,
right.
trying to run a business. I bet she's just done with the whole thing.
And you know
It's a
what?
great point.
That's pretty much what you said earlier. That's exactly what you said earlier. Like with all the toxicity and everything. Like I mean, you didn't say it exactly like that, but you gotta think that it's gonna be a lot of toxic energy happening. And being put in between your husband and your father. That's God. I can only imagine how she feels,
Yeah. I'll tell you how I feel. Exhausted by wrestling.
dude.
I'm just tired.
Do you remember what when you sent me what was it? You sent me something over the weekend about Vince McMahon. What was my response? I hate pro wrestling.
You're okay. That popped me, but I was like, here's the thing. I just woken up from a nap. I had like,
Right,
okay, I never get to nap, right? So this was after work. I'm just like, man, gonna rest my head down. And like I did one of those deals where like, you'll wake up like 30 minutes into your nap and you'll be like, oh, let me check my phone. I'm gonna go back to
right,
sleep. Check my phone. Check my phone. And the first thing I see is I'm like on YouTube, right? I'm just like scrolling
right,
through YouTube and I just see Vince McMahon returns breaking. It's like a Fightful live stream. I'm like,
right.
no, not during my nap. No. And then I sent you that thing, and I sent you another thing, and your first text to me was, "God, I hate wrestling." Then I sent you another article. So here's the thing. First I sent you an article titled Wall Street Journal, Vince McMahon plots return to WWE. Your response, God, I hate wrestling. Then I sent you a Bleacher Report story
Yep.
titled Vince McMahon eyeing return to pursue a sale after misconduct allegations. Your next text was, my brain blew up.
I thought it was a perfect response. And
Yeah,
like
MGT says, crazy how pro wrestling does not seem to be slowing down. No, it's speeding up. It's
speeding up,
speeding up.
MGT. And
Um,
it's funny. It just
mhm.
happened all at once too. It just God.
I think a good place for us to kind of really wind this conversation down is to look at the past year, right, has been as far as AEW, WWE goes, like the war, whatever people want to call it. The past year has really been a, if you want to call it a battle, it's been a battle of momentum. There's
Right.
been a story, I should say, of momentum. In 2021, like a all out 2021, CM Punk's debut, all that stuff, to basically around the time the Cody stuff like started happening. AEW was like on a on cloud nine. That was some of the
Sure
best
was.
television. The ratings were great. The revenue was still great. And it's still great. Like the revenue has always been great. Like the tickets and the pay resale has been great. But the perception and the momentum, it just seemed to be all behind AEW. And then Cody goes back to WWE, makes his return, and we seem to see the momentum shift. They have a great WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And then the Vince stuff happens, and we find out Triple H is in charge. And momentum just seemed to be in WWE's favor ever since then. And AEW had a few things go wrong.
Yep.
Obviously, Tony Khan's tweet to begin the year didn't set the year off on the right foot. And then on top of that, you had the reasons, why did Cody leave? What happened backstage? All this stuff rumbling. You had Kenny Omega not being on TV. You had the
Yep.
injuries to multiple key superstars. Remember, Forbidden Door didn't have CM Punk. Forbidden Door
Nope.
didn't have
Kenny
Bryan
Omega.
Danielson, a whole host of people.
Yeah. It
And
was.
then
Oh
I'm sorry, I'm almost finished. And
no, you're
then
fine.
we see then Brawl Out happens, and it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, AEW's lost all momentum. They're actually regressing perception wise. Like it's been a thing of perception. And then WWE is on a tear, and we were like, oh, they're gonna take this into Mania, and it's gonna be Triple H's first WrestleMania, biggest WrestleMania ever. And now that like all this seems to happen at the same time, AEW seems to be getting their mojo back. The perception
Mhm.
is Sasha Banks might debut tomorrow night. Man, it is
It's crazy, isn't it?
a whirlwind. It's a
Yeah.
whirlwind.
Like this is supposed to be Stephanie's and Triple H's first WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and perception was very high. Like I mean, like you said, like MGT was saying last week, like that Battle at the Castle was an amazing pay per view.
Yeah.
Um, they had a couple doozies right after that. Like had some great shows. Raw has been getting better. Now, I would not say every Raw I've seen was great, but it has been getting much better. You've seen superstars, like I mentioned earlier, Austin Theory getting better. You've seen a lot of people like on the up, and now I don't know.
It is. Like, that's the thing. We didn't even talk about this part, and we should touch on it at least. Dude, there was a lot of talk about, oh, people might not want to go over to WWE or to AEW. They allow Triple H in charge. There might be people who want to go to WWE. There might be people who want
Right.
to stay with WWE that wouldn't have if Vince was in charge. And with this morale shift that's being reported on, like what's gonna happen?
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, do you still think it's going to be a bidding war of 2024?
Oh, for MJF, how? Okay, assuming he has not re-signed with AEW, which is very
Right.
well possible. Assuming he has not, whether it's Vince, whether it's Triple H, whoever, they're going to offer him a boatload of money,
Oh, they better.
and they should offer
They
him a
better.
boatload of money. And if you're MJF, you're gonna listen to those
Oh yeah,
offers.
I'm gonna hear what you're saying.
Yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
well, let's go. Thomas Scott in the chat said wrestling news is now tweeting there is big wrestling.
Oh Christ.
That popped me. Thomas has popped me a few times. Thomas, you can come on. By the way, guys, join us live every Tuesday nights for tomfoolery
Yeah,
like you
this was a
witnessed.
great show, by the way. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. This is a great show. I had a lot of fun.
But it has been great.
It's been a
If that's how
mess.
it
Oh, it's
works.
been an absolute mess because we really had to replan this whole damn show.
No, sir,
within
sir,
like
we did not have to replan anything. There is no plan. I put up a breaking news banner and we just said, "All right, cool, let's go."
That's true.
Like, I was just like, because I remember I just sent all I did was like I screenshot the story and I was like, I sent it to you. I was like, this, and you were just like, "Oh dear."
Shit.
What was your exact? I need to know. What was your exact reaction, dude? When
So, like I said, like when you sent it to me, I was making pizza. I was making flatbread pizza. I was in the middle of
imagining
like
you like spitting the pizza like the who's the dude on AEW? Luigi
oh
Primo?
yeah, yeah,
Is that his
yeah.
name?
I
Luigi
forget his
Primo?
name. Yeah, the guy that
Oh
wrestles and
yeah,
also
yeah, the
yeah.
anti-vaxxer. Continue.
Anyway,
Continue.
oh dear. So I was making the pizza, and then like you sent the thing. You first sent that this is what we're gonna talk about. Blah blah. I was like, cool, whatever. Yeah, good. Then like what was it like 30 minutes later? like you said something else, and then this came through, and I'm like, sweet baby Jesus. That was my first thing. Sweet baby Jesus. What in the world is going on? And then I read more, and then that's my response was, oh dear. Like, can we not talk about him more? Like I think every topic that we at least one topic of every show we've done for the past like 4 weeks have been about Vince McMahon.
Yep. Yep.
Like I need a break. I need a break. Good lord.
Sir,
You still?
sir,
I
sir,
hear.
sir, you need a break.
I know you need one too.
I need a break.
I
All
think
I
we
do is
both
talk
do.
about I either talk about Vince or I talk about Vince. Like, that's all I ever do
Or
on this
talk about Vince. Or
all
talk
I ever
about
do on this
Stephanie.
damn channel. We got MGT in the chat saying, guys, if you don't watch Raw all that much, I don't blame you. In fact, doing yourselves a favor. Here, I enjoy Raw. I actually enjoy. Okay,
Yeah.
I enjoy how I watch Raw, or
Yeah.
I enjoy Raw the way I watch it. I should say that because I watch it DVR'd. I don't.
Same.
First of all, football
Same.
season, unless like massive stuff is going to happen. I am Monday Night Football guy. I'm a football guy on Mondays.
Same.
But
Or I watch a hockey game or something if it's not football season. Baseball, I'm watching baseball. So
yeah,
I'm not really watching Raw.
but like the way I watch Raw is usually DVR like the next day, and I work from home usually. But what I will do is like I'll have it on in the background. I'll like watch. I'll do a little work. I'll like keep up with it. And then like if there's a really cool segment, I'll just like actually stand by and watch it.
Right.
But I take in everything. I'm aware of everything that's going on in the show.
I've been watching most wrestling like that recently. Like even AEW, I've been watching via DVR.
Yeah, I just a Rampage that is a DVR show. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
That's a
Definitely
DVR show.
Definitely.
Except for we talked about this. The one time like in the past basically calendar year I actually watched Rampage live was outside of the time I was there in Chicago. Was the Shibata return match with Orange Cassidy. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, that
this.
one and the CM Punk return too.
Well, that was in 2021. Like that. Okay, when Rampage first started, I was watching every week.
Right.
Because I mean, that was still like kind of. It was still like they was still in the pandemic, or in at a bad phase in the pandemic where there were still vaccines not being given out, and you didn't know if it was safe or whatever.
I don't know if I told you that, but I was at a bar watching that on my phone when that happened. We went to go play pool, and I had just ordered my drink, and I'm sitting down, and I turn my phone on, and me and my friend start like having meltdown because CM Punk.
I was at home when that happened, and I just remember like part of me was like, "Oh, I should stream this, like whatever, or like watch along." And then I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna take this." Like like there's some times where you're just like, "Man, I just want to take this in." Like I just want to take it in. I want to watch it. I want to enjoy. That's like that's my thing of with AEW pay-per-views, especially lately, right? And I want to be clear, like this is not a dispersion on WWE pay-per-views. WWE puts on amazing pay-per-views.
Yeah, just talked about
The
it.
But like AEW supercards that they put on to me are just like insane. Like and like it's to the point where I'm just like when AEW puts on a pay-per-view, I'm not streaming that. I'm not like doing reaction. I'm not
Right,
just gonna take it in. Like
right.
and I found that for me, I enjoy it a lot. Like when I do. Like I told you this. I've been to the last like 2 AEW
That's two, right?
pay-per-views
Yeah.
live. And I really wanted to go.
I
I
need to
really want
go
to go to
to
San
another
Francisco.
Dynamite. I haven't been to a Dynamite since the
Oh,
first one.
man, you should have came to the one in Baltimore. I was trying to invite you.
I was thinking about it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we
No, you might have
talked
had work.
about
I
it
think
or
that.
what. Yeah, I was working that
I'm
night.
sorry. Well, I'm so sorry. Let's talk about that offline.
Talk. It's fine.
We'll talk about it offline.
They don't know where I
Anyway,
was.
I don't know where you were either, sir. I know where I was. I was watching. No, I wasn't. This was. Did I tell the story about Jeff Jarrett's debut in
Yep.
AEW? The dude in line next to me just goes, "Jeff," and he runs. And I was like, I'm like looking at this dude, and I'm just like, this man has fans. Like,
Apparently it does.
apparently. Okay, well, we have a little bit of an update. Actually, no, we don't. I'm not gonna clickbait you guys. We don't have an update. We do have a tweet.
Uh-oh.
That thing he said, where the thing where that Thomas said is like wrestling news is now just this guy tweeted. I'm just like, that's pretty funny.
That's
Oh, Thomas,
hilarious.
you have no idea. Welcome to the channel, Thomas. We have fun
We
here.
needed that. Thank you, sir.
Oh man, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you guys like this content, just know that we are here every single Tuesday. Live Tuesday nights right here, 7:30. Sometimes that's chance to change, but 7:30 is usually
Yeah.
usually the time. We moved it back a little bit today, but Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Catch us live here, youtube.com/Real Take Sports. You guys can also follow us, Real Take W on Twitter, at Real Take W. Don't I'm getting to you, big boy. Real Take W on Twitter. And you can follow this glorious hunk of a man right here, Trevor the Sauce Souton on Twitter. You can follow Trevor on Twitter at TreverTainment. That is Trevortainment.
How you gonna
Trevortainment
feel when I finally change it?
with an E. With an E. But we're not going to change the graphic. They're going to be following the wrong Twitter. Now you can't change it. Dude. I've learned this.
That's what I said. I can't change it now.
Now you can't change it. No, actually do change it. But you can follow him on Trevor at Trevortainment, Trevertainment on Twitter. It's right there. Just put that in your Google machine and do that. You guys want to follow me? Whatever. I tweet about a lot of things. Not all of them are pro wrestling, but at OMERQ show. But do follow Real Take W for all your wrestling related needs. Subscribe here for all your wrestling related needs as well. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the Backstreets? I'm gonna refresh one more time to see if we have any. Oh, Thomas followed me. Well, thank you, Thomas, sir. Thank you. I don't know why you did. I don't know why you did. You should follow Trevor. You follow Trevor, everyone. Don't follow me, guys. Follow
Don't
Trevor.
follow me.
He's the guy you want to follow. He's got the scopes of ice cream.
I mean, I need to put some. I like ice cream too.
All you gotta
I
do
need to
is
put stuff
look.
on Twitter.
Twitter is
But
easy. Take the dumbest thought in your brain and just put it out there for the world to see.
Dude, I'd be Twitter famous. I have
That's
a
how
lot of dumb
Twitter.
thoughts.
Someone once asked me, "Hey, so how does Twitter work?" And I was like, "That's how I explained it." I'm like, take the dumbest thought in your head, put it out for everyone out there to see.
You know what though? I don't use social media at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm working on it. I'm working on it now, but I don't really use social media much anymore. I think I'm getting old.
Yep. We got MGT saying, "Did you see Dominic Mysterio at Smith TV?" Like, I love like Prison Gang Judgment Day. Like, it's so
Hilarious.
funny. Like, they're leaning, bro. Dominic Mysterio in the back of that cop car going, "Mommy, bail me out, mommy, bail me." It's the funniest thing ever. And then they come out, and Finn Balor's got like the damn the skull.
Oh my god. They've been making memes about that all day.
So funny. The Judgment Day. I've gone full circle on the Judgment Day. Thought they were crap when they were serious, and now that they're like Mommy Rhea Ripley, like I'm all in for it. I'm all in.
Dude, even with the jokes, Rhea Ripley looks more menacing now than she did she did in the first place.
Yeah, man. Ooh, there's so much going on. We got so Wrestling News Co. Not as familiar with them, but they just tweeted, "Buckle up. There might be more huge WWE news coming tonight." So okay, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Always
Up,
fire.
and Thomas just tagged me in the post. Thank you, sir. Uh, here's the thing. If there is like more blockbuster news, I'll probably just do like a one-off video about it and post it. But Trevor and I will definitely talk about it next week. That's for sure. Oh my
I mean,
god.
depending on how big it is, we might have to do another show, like in the middle of the week.
Man, ain't nobody got time for that. Barely been Tuesdays for Trevor.
Oh, another on a side note, you mentioned it last week. Dude, we're coming up on 2 years.
2 years.
2 years
2 years.
since me and this knucklehead started doing this for fun.
I make podcasts. Time. I make podcasts fun.
Me make stuff when doing.
I love this. Liam, join the. He's in Scotland, people. He's in Scotland. Liam, your thing is join early, leave early. This is like, were you asleep
It's
and
gonna
you
be
just
like
woke up to this news?
right,
Yeah.
4:00 in the morning.
Yes, Liam. For Liam and everyone else out there who's wondering, Stephanie McMahon did resign from WWE. She resigned as CEO. Vince McMahon was voted back in as executive chairman of the board. There's allegedly more news coming out about this. Someone Scott says, "Who let Vince go?" Yep. Yep. But yeah, guys, follow him on Twitter at Trevortainment. Follow us on at RealTakeW. Trevor, what are you watching?
Apparently not the right stuff. Yeah, like I said, I think I told you I was going down the rabbit hole of the Attitude Era.
You son of a gun.
So yeah. And I let's see. And I went back. Well, actually, recently I was watching.
Oh dear.
Oh well, no.
No, continue.
Some some In Your House pay-per-view, old school In Your House pay-per-views. But yeah, nothing.
Here's
stuff,
the thing. I'm gonna give it like another minute or two. If this news breaks while we're on the air, we'll probably just continue talking. If that's cool with you, Trev. If not, we'll just.
You're trying to see if it's gonna break.
I am like, there's a lot of talk and it's getting louder. Raj Giri just tweeted out. Raj Giri, by the way, for those you don't know, is the person who got the Sasha Banks news right. He does not get enough credit for that. People people really gave him a hard time when he reported that Sasha Banks back in like June or July that Sasha Banks was basically out of the company, like she had come to terms with a release. People gave him a lot of crap for that because they were like, "Oh, the WWE hasn't said anything. She's still on the main page or whatever." And what happened? It comes out that it looks like the situation was she had a 6-month non-compete. So he was right at the end of the day. So big shout out to Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc. Always give the scoopsters the credit they deserve, guys out there, if you're reporting their news. I try to. Sometimes you miss stuff, that's fine, but always try to because they work hard at that, and they allow knuckleheads like me and this guy over here to just riff and talk for like an hour or two about pro wrestling. But Raj Giri out. The tweet I sent out 2 hours ago. I heard from some higher ups in WWE, and maybe not. What? Wait a minute. Maybe what?
Wait a second.
Uh, the next season of Succession might as well be a oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. All right, well, sir. I say with one more refresh of this.
Uh-oh. That face looks menacing.
I'm not going to report this because I don't know whether Sean Sapp is being
oh dear,
joking or not. I don't know what's happening.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk later. We'll see you next time, guys. In the meantime, the chat is going wild. Thank you guys so much. We got Film Nation Wrestling Fan. Well, you know what? I might be the first one to say it was fun while it lasted. Hey, how's it going? I'm new here. Welcome, Film Nation Wrestling. We're just wrapping up. We're just wrapping up, but
please come back next week.
Come back all the time. Come back anytime. But yeah, wild times. Welcome to the news people. Thank you to the old people. Liam is trying to wrap his head and process any of this. I'm so sorry, Liam. You like literally caught us like to be fair, you caught us 2 hours into this show, Liam. This is a you problem. Liam, you were sleeping.
Poor Liam.
Liam, okay, we'll wrap up with the last few chats. Liam says, "The Queendom no more. I'll miss her heavy auto-tune." Thomas Scott says, "News might break after NXT." Well, we'll see if it does.
Probably right, Thomas.
Liam says, "Vince versus Trips at the Royal Rumble. Winner gets the company." I'd love to see that.
That is not too far-fetched, unfortunately.
CC's peacing out. Peace out, CC. Liam says, "Imagine this just being a big mark to try to get a surprise entrance in the Rumble." Oh my god. MGT says later. Thank you, MGT. Later, my friend.
Thanks, MGT.
Liam says, "Wait, Vince is back." Yes, Vince McMahon is back in WWE. That news broke a few days ago. Vince McMahon is as of tonight was voted in as the executive chairman of the board for WWE.
Wicked old witch.
MGT pulls out the old bag of tricks. It was me, Austin. I hate Vince McMahon as a human being. And I want to be clear. There's going to be a part of me though. If that is the payoff, he should not be anywhere. This should not happen. I want to be clear about this. He's a menace. Should not be anywhere near talent, especially women. If this man comes out and under a hood and does the "it was me all along" bit over this,
dude, I would.
It's gonna take every single bone in my body to contain myself. I am immature.
Yeah, I would cry laughing.
Again, terrible human. Should not happen. F Vince McMahon for what he allegedly did. Film Nation says, "Yo, that was a hard bar. Whoever said that deserves a shout out." Oh man. Liam says, why am I just hearing this now? Because
good question.
Liam, you're subscribed. You should definitely have heard about this. Saudi Arabia might buy WWE. Go watch a video. Guys, follow Trevor, TreverTainment. Follow us at RealTakeW. Last time I'm going to say that. Trevor, parting thoughts.
Wow.
And he's
Especially after
not,
this.
and he's not talking about WoW Women of Wrestling.
Especially after this, guys. Love those who are close. Love those who are far. Hug those who are close.
Cassidy Haynes,
nuts.
who is very, very credible, just tweeted out, if what I heard is true, holy shiznit. Except he didn't say shiznit. Oh, well, something's about to happen, guys. I'll let you know when it does. I'm so sorry, Trevor. Continue your parting thoughts. I saw that tweet and I was like, oh dear God.
Like I said, love those who are far, hug those who are close, man. Be happy, be safe. And as Omar always says, what
Liam
happened?
just said, no chance. No chance.
Why do I hate and love our followers?
I love y'all, guys. Thank you so much. Until
guys,
next
man.
time. Until next time. Until next time. Be happy, be healthy. And stay glued to Twitter.